If not for the coming of IPOB, of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Go on, is allowed to ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back. Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzogwu coup, so-called Nzogwu coup, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael Opara. What I'm telling you are fast. Go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. There was a coup by Nzogwu. And after that, there was the massacre of, as usual, massacre of our people in the North. Ojukwu said, I have to secure my land and my people. They said, no, let's go to Aburi to discuss it. Ojukwu went to Aburi and agreed restructuring. That's something now you're asking for. To tell you how foolish Nigerians are. They're very foolish. That same nonsense you're asking for now was discussed many years ago. Ojukwu sat down in Aburi with Gowon and decided that regionalism was the best way forward. Restructuring, going back to who you were, 1963 Constitution, 1960-1963 Constitution. Be on your own and pay tax to the central government, as they have in America, as they have even in Britain. Britain, you have Scotland that is almost independent. Wales, the same thing. Everybody is free. But Britain doesn't want the same thing they're enjoying to happen in Nigeria. Why? Ask yourself that question. Anybody telling you about one Nigeria is your enemy. I'll prove it to you now. Ojukwu negotiated devolution, regionalism. The North will be on their own, the West on their own, even Midwest on their own, and then the East on their own. It's the same one Nigeria. On their way to the airport, before they boarded the aircraft, a call came from Lagos, from the British High Commissioner in Lagos to Gowon, telling Gowon not to agree, after having signed the agreement. That same Gowon you're looking at today, God kept me alive so that he can witness the destruction he will bring upon that very zoo called Nigeria. Gowon said no. Do you know all the journalists in Nigeria, none of them have ever gone to Gowon to ask him, why did he say no to Aburi? Aburi was restructuring. None of those agitating for restructuring right now has ever gone to Gowon or gone to Nigeria to say, but Ojukwu negotiated restructuring. What happened? They came back and they said no. Ojukwu said, okay, so you want to continue to kill my people all over the place? No. Because of that, I'll declare Biafra. Today, they have brainwashed all of you with the perverse notion and thinking that somehow Ojukwu is responsible for causing a war, when opposite is the case. If not now, that after many years of hammering on this very topic, it has now sunk into the skull of the people that Gowon was the aggressor, not Ojukwu. That's how Nigeria is, always blaming the victim. And we lost over 5 million people during that very genocidal war. They killed over 5 million Biafrans. They wanted to wipe us away from the face of this very earth. But we survived it, and we are here today. Those they gave birth to, they have come. And this time with a wrath that you cannot even begin to imagine. And Biafra must come. It must come.
Good evening.
There are two things plaguing.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I welcome you to this program. While you are joining, share the video, invite others to join. Just as usual, we are live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook at Judge Money Blog. So, if you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. We are going to be here for just 15 to 20 minutes, and we call it a day because we are here actually to analyze what is transpiring and our victory against IEP. So, great and wonderful people of Biafra, I greet you according to your place of domicile. We are here once again to do the needful. Of course, when we come online, the enemy will start, shaking. That is the reason why Facebook is cracking down on IPOB and our broadcast because they want to prove a point. They are also part of the election riggers. So this evening, I want to remind you and I want to make sure that we send this message to to whom it may concern. First of all, let us bring more people and we send this message to whom it may concern. And that whom it may concern is nothing but nobody else but Britain. Of course, Britain, since they have started declaring their visa ban, those watching on Twitter, retweet this video because we are going to attract attract British High Commission or British High Commission, those who are in charge of visa issuing and the visa ban as per what they said, because of course Catriona Langton came to tell you to accept the election. Of course, the same Britain is the one issuing visa ban to people. So this evening I want to call that man which you see in this image that is
in the zoo
in front of your screen. Sorry about that. This image, when you see this image, it is the Bobrisky from Akwa Ibom, who is part and parcel of the Nigeria election rigging, and the Femi Fani-Kayode, who is another mastermind in election rigging in Nigeria. On the other side, you will see the British, I think it is British ambassador, second ambassador, or will I call it what do you call him? I believe he is the is it vice or to Catriona Lang or to whoever that is the ambassador who announced the visa ban and mentioned the name of the people who are actually indicted in that election rigging. So we want to also call on them to make sure that whoever that participated in the election rigging must get what they deserve, including this boy that is in front of our screen. Of course, the evidence is there that he even traveled to Nigeria to go and take his position in order to, to help them rig the election. He helped them rig the election, of course, by mobilizing people and convincing people and giving them some money, just like he was recruited, because he was recruited as an accomplice in election rigging in Nigeria. So if there is anything that will be done against Femi Fani-Kayode or visa ban to UK, it should apply to this same boy as well, because he has misguided utterances and he has actually deceived so many Nigerians in election buying and election rigging. So that is the reason why I am actually here this evening to inform Britain and their envoy to make sure that whatever they are going to give to this man, they should also give it to his son in election rigging, which is this boy in front of your screen. He stays in UK. He lives in UK, but during the election period, he had to make a move to make sure he go and help them for the election rigging. So if you are watching on Twitter, make sure you tag this man. I will try to find his name. I am not sure about his name, but he is a vice ambassador to Nigeria from Britain. So if you must tag British embassy. They must know all these criminals who rig election, who direct and indirect participated in the election rigging in Nigeria, because it is obvious and it is plain to see by everyone that that election was manipulated and that election was rigged and resolving to violence in the zoological republic called Nigeria. So whatever they are doing to all of these people should be applicable to this boy. And he has done more damages than any other person could do to the life of the youth in Nigeria, to the life of ordinary people in Nigeria, because they have given him money. First of all, bribery is a crime. He is not affiliated to any political party in Nigeria. He is not a member of any political party in Nigeria, but he was bribed, and in the UK soil was when this move was made. When was still in UK, this move was made for him to be bribed in order to come and convince thousands of his followers to manipulate the election, to participate in the election rigging in Nigeria. So whatever that is applicable to all those that are in politics who rig election should be applicable to this boy as well. He should be sent back to Nigeria, since he loves election rigging, since he loves old people who are not strong enough to hold the position of office, since he wishes the condition of the people that are there in Nigeria, he like it the way it is. He should be sent back to Nigeria to go and be in that country which he rigged election for. That is my call this evening, and I hope it will be looked into. Of course, we know that British controls Nigeria. Of course, we know that British is heaven to some people in Nigeria. It is their second heaven, or their even first heaven. So their visa ban is indeed going to hurt them. And we know that, and it is not part of what we are doing, but a record must be set straight. This boy, I am also going to write it on Twitter. I am also going, if need be, if they need any evidence to tag him towards this election rigging in the 25th of March 2023, I will provide all the conviction that he has made using his page, that to convince people who are uninformed, to convince people who are hungry, to even make sure that he lure them into helping them to sell their votes. It is a crime against democracy. So because Nigeria claim they practice democracy, so every activities of this boy, it's a crime, and he is actually inciting violence against Igbo ethnicity after rigging the election, because he is a confused person. He is so confused. That is the reason why Ifeanyi Fani Kayode has been on the list of visa ban. Nsema Usembongo or Nsema Usebong should also be in that list of visa ban, because there is no crime that is bigger than another, especially crime of manipulating a political process. Anybody who participated in manipulation of democratic process must face the wrath of those who promote democracy more than every other person, according to their philosophy and their teaching. And that is Britain and America. So these people, these two faces, that are in front of this screen, it is father and son. Their activities is the same. They should also be indicted. Femi Fani-Kayode is jumping up and down, trying to, act tough to his masters. I want to remind you, Femi Fani-Kayode, that no matter how much you twat, no matter how much you try to, justify your action, the fact that Britain is your master. Britain is your master. Because if Britain is not your master, you will not be looking for a way to rig election just to enrich yourself. You will be making sure that everything that is happening in Nigeria will be beneficial to everyone. But because you know that you are being led by a master, that is the reason why you want to collect what you want to collect. Regardless of how you want to make it to be like you are fighting, you are actually brave to fight this British oligarchy against Nigeria, but you are the one promoting it. You are the one promoting it, deceiving people, writing junk on your profile, on your Facebook page, as if you are brave enough to fight British oligarchy, when you are the one promoting it, by making, the process of them exploiting Nigeria, indigenous people of Nigeria, very easy, by rigging an old man into the office who will die, and the Islamic nation will be declared in Nigeria, which make the British, it make it easy for Britain to continue, and others to continue to exploit the resources in that region. Because you are a black man, you believe that it is all about coming to talk on social media, because it is what you can do. But tell me what you have ever done in Nigeria that will help Nigeria elevate them from poverty. What have you ever done in Nigeria that is a legacy that will help Nigeria to thrive and survive this neo-colonialist agenda? What have you done other than being a political harlot, other than instigating some Yoruba rascal, including you, against the Igbo people? That is the only thing you are doing. And you want to tell us that you can write against the ordinary ambassador. If you intimidate ambassador, for muzzle. But you go and rig election to enable them to thrive, to enable the oligarchy to gain more power. That's what you did. Because you have been fighting against APC activities, how people are dying. You have been a two-faced chameleon. You have been a chameleon. Do you think there is any institution in this world that will take you seriously, Femi Fani-Kayode? Do you think there is any institution that will ever take you seriously? Because you don't have pride. You have sold it for pittance. That's exactly what it is. You have no pride. There is nothing that will take you seriously. The fact that Tinubu took you seriously after castigating and insulting him all this while. People does not have shame. I actually salute you people who does not have shame. Tomorrow you are here. Next tomorrow you are on the other side preaching against what you have preached before. I salute you people. Because you people have no shame. You have shaved off your eyebrows. So I am calling on British Envoy and British Embassy to make sure that if they say they are going to have a visa ban on everybody who participated, direct and indirect, on the election rigging, on the actually making sure that they manipulate the democratic process in Nigeria during 2025 of February presidential election, they should all be treated the same, because they are all criminals. They put the life of other people in danger for them to continue to enjoy. Especially this small boy that is from Akwa Ibom. Ndibo is your problem. He was IPOB, all of a sudden he became APC because he was bribed. And he was bribed inside UK. He was still in UK when he received the bribe to help them to rig election in Nigeria. So, is that not a punishable crime? Bribery is a punishable crime. So he must face the music. And I don't have much to say about it. He must face the music. He was still in UK when he was bribed. Before he make his way back to the Zoological Republic. And when things become tough, he will want to make his way back to UK. Because now, the reason why he come every time online, making noise, shouting, it is because the money that he was bribed while in UK that took him back to Nigeria is still there. And the other people are suffering, dying because of the manipulation on the democratic process that has been happening in Nigeria. People died, people were shot at in Lagos because of their activities. The activities of this boy who was bribed in UK before he went to Nigeria. If Britain, if you want to work, or if the embassy of Britain want to work, you should also, the same law that you have made that will deprive Femi Fani-Kayo the visa to the heaven which is called Britain should be applicable to all of them in their syndicates, because it takes two to tango. It takes two hands to clap. So it should be applicable to this boy. Must be applicable to them. So that you will show us that you are the one promoting democracy around the world, and you know that no one is, no crime against democracy is bigger than the other one. That boy must be deported from Britain, from UK, or must not be allowed to go back to UK. He must stay in Nigeria since he liked the leadership he has selected, or whatever manipulation they have done. He must stay back in Nigeria. That is my call. And those watching on Twitter, make sure you retweet, tag Britain Embassy, tag UK Embassy, tag them. Tomorrow it will be part of our Twitter campaign. They must add him in that list of visa ban to UK. He must do a visa to go to another country, so that we will know that when you say something, you mean it. Now, I don't have to talk about this too much, but if need be, there are evidences that tags him to this crime and his incentives against those. He is calling for people to, to fight one another because those who does not support their election rigging. The same boy that you see in this screen. The same boy in this screen, in the top left corner. He resides in UK. The same boy, the visa ban must be applicable to him. Just like it is applicable to his father in crime, his partner in crime, those who does not have shame, political harlots, people who can never be trusted with anything. Wherever there's, they show them money is where they run to. These are people whom you've been believing that they are doing something to liberate ordinary people on the ground, without knowing that they are using the state of the people to manipulate them. They manipulate people according to their state of mind. That is what they do. Now coming to the Global Terrorism Index. Of course, our people, we have actually seen the latest result from the Global Terrorism Index, which IEP, which is released after IPOB, intervention. I want our leadership, the leadership of IPOB, because what these people removing the name of IPOB from the Global Terrorist Index, it is not enough. It is not enough, because when I say it is not enough, it is not enough. That is being prejudiced against an organization who has committed no crime that is known to any law of any country that will make these people to put our name in the terrorist index. Do you know what that have cost some members of this organization? Some of them actually suffered psychological trauma. Who is going to compensate them for that? I know a woman who even fainted on the day that she heard the news. That people started calling me on phone. Who is going to compensate to them for that? Myself, I suffered from psychological trauma hearing that. So who is going to pay for my medical bills? Will they just cause problem for people, and at the end of the day they will not pay for it? They will just say sorry. Sorry is not enough. We must set up a litigation against this IEP. They must actually make sure that they compensate IPOB for that. Because you cannot traumatize people and say to them sorry. No. Before you execute a plan with such magnitude, you should actually make sure that your findings are correct. So, we must make sure that the lawsuit must be filed against this IEP, so that any organization that we hear about IPOB, before they will collect bribe or do anything to put IPOB or to castigate, defame IPOB in anything, they should know that IPOB is a registered organization and will have right to defend herself anywhere. It is very, very important. If there is any lawsuit that has been established, it must carry on. It must continue against these people. Whoever institution that made that move. People fell ill for the sake of that. People got hurt for the sake of that. People are traumatized, were traumatized for the sake of that. Some of them are still suffering because of that news. So who is going to be the one that is going to pay for these people's trauma? Or when it comes to black people, and we are sorry. Sorry will just take it and take it away. No, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. We must make a claim. We must name what we have lost for the sake of that. Nigeria used that opportunity to make sure they left Mazen Nnamdi Kanu suffering in a solitary confinement because somebody from IEP who is compromised took the name of IPOB and placed them in the index where there is terrorists in the world, when we have never committed any crime against any law of any nation that we are domiciled. So what made us to be on that list? It is somebody's complicity, and that complicity must be dealt with decisively. Because if we don't, it is now high time. They will always say these are black people. They don't know what is a lawsuit. They don't know how to go to court. They will just put their name there. They will not do anything. They will just shout on social media. At the end, they will just leave it. No, we cannot leave it. We cannot leave it. We must make sure that we go to court with these people who place our name there and ask them, where have we committed that terrorism that actually brought our name into the index? Have we committed it against Tony Blair Institute? Have we committed it against anybody that is with it, around him? Where have we committed that act that they place our name there? We file a lawsuit with and the defamation of organization. We must do it. And this is the message I am here to deliver. Because those who suffered as a result of that news, they will not suffer in vain. Enough is enough. We cannot always be their guinea pigs and their scapegoat. That they will wake up and say sorry, and they will pretend as everything is over. Everything is all right. There are people who took IPOB as their only hope to give them freedom. That whenever they hear us talking online, they will be awake because our voice gives them hope that is lost in Nigeria. The hope they never had in the last 60 years of independence. What we do online gives them hope that somebody speaks on their behalf. When they heard that news, it never go down well with them. Some of our mothers, they fell ill. They said, so this is how they want to leave Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the solitary confinement. It pained them. It hurts them. They are human beings. So how do we navigate that? I am calling on IPOB leadership to carry on with the lawsuit. If there is any of it established, if there is none, we must establish one. Because lawsuit correct criminals. Court of law correct criminals. Those who are complicit in their position. The court of law correct them. So we are going to go through that process. It is very, very important. I am going to leave it here. We are coming tomorrow for our regular normal program, where we are going to be navigating the London or the UK lawsuit and how it went. We are going to talk about it tomorrow. And then don't forget, if you are tweeting, make sure you tag IEP. Those what IGTI, those who put the name of IPOB in their list. Because every atrocities that they are committing against our people, they will no longer go scot-free. We will challenge them and we will make sure of that. Because we are an organization that is made up of prominent people who are exposed, who are advanced. Like I always say, if you step on me, I take you to court. Because that is the only place me and you will settle our scores. When we go to court, if you know you have anything on me, you bring it. At the end of the day, by the time you have time to go to that court and every time, talk more of organization who makes decisions such as determining who is terrorist and who is not. They will pay. That's the way the world is. And then because they know that black man will always run away when they hear court or when it concerns court. That's why they will continue to take advantage of you. IPOB is an organization. And we have lawyers, litigants. We must make sure that we follow those people who are trying to suppress the truth. In every means possible, we must defeat them. So share the video wherever you are watching from. Share the video. Invite others to watch. This is where I am going to take a bow this evening, this morning, and afternoon, depending on where you are watching from. Until we meet again tomorrow, stay safe and stay blessed.